What's up?
I'm ready for the Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
What's up?
This month.
What's up?
It's like in 2 weeks.
What's up? That's Disney Plus only, right?
Yes, Disney.
Oh my gosh.
The communists over at Disney.
What did George Lucas call them? The white slavers?
He did.
He called Disney white slavers, dude. He said that.
He did. He said it in the context that he sold it to them, right?
Like, bro, you sold it. It can't. What are we talking about?
You think he meant that in the American historical sense, or he was making a Star Wars reference? When you say slavers,
no, I don't think he was making any kind of Star Wars reference at all, dude. I don't think he was talking about Star Wars.
So why'd he do it?
I don't know.
If you knew what you were doing, why'd you do it?
I'll tell you why. Because that's a lot of money.
What's up, Robert?
That's a lot of money, baby.
That's a lot of money.
That's a lot of money, dude. What was it? $4 billion.
Microsoft spent just as much acquiring
a bunch of game studios. Bethesda.
No, it was just one. Yeah, I think it was Bethesda. They spent just as much. They spent more.
$4
or was it like the Halo budget or something like that? It was a stupid number. We talked about it before.
Oh my gosh. That's freaking crazy. But yeah, Falcon and the Winter Soldier, dude. I saw the trailer. Really impressive. It doesn't look like a television show to me. This looks like Marvel and Disney threw all the money at it as if it was a full-length feature film, dude.
Yeah, no, Bucky's like top 5, top 3 of the Avengers for me.
What is it? So his power is he was trained as a really good assassin. And
he's Captain America's. He's got the same powers. Who he is. No, but I mean, as far as powers.
Oh, he's got the same powers?
It's like he's a super soldier, just like Captain America.
Okay, so that's right. Yeah. They did the same kind of stuff, but German.
He just fights different.
But German, right?
But they got the same powers.
Yeah, Hydra. Well, I say Germany, but it was like Hydra that captured him when he was.
That's the Avengers Nazis. That's what it was.
Hell Hydra.
Speaking of the Avengers Nazis, that reminds me of the actual Nazis in Hellboy. The movie?
Never seen Hellboy.
You didn't? Oh man, that's
the Ron Perlman movie.
Yeah, the first. That was a good movie.
Yeah.
I liked it.
They rebooted it, right?
I didn't bother seeing the reboot. They did reboot it.
Didn't look different enough.
I like the first one, man. The first one actually has like a Deadpool type of vibe.
I'm a big Ron Perlman fan. I really enjoy Ron Perlman.
In what?
I really liked him in my one of my favorite movie franchises of all time, the Aliens franchise, when he was in Alien Resurrection, man. And I really liked his character in the Big Robot movie.
My Big Robot.
Gypsy Danger was one of the Pacific Rim. Rim.
Okay, yeah.
He played a like a kind of like an underlord kind of guy in that movie, and he's got such an interesting looking face. It looks like he was created in a 3D character creation simulation model from a video game. Like the way his face looks, very interesting.
You're so polite.
He looks strange.
Interesting. So funny look.
Interesting.
He
looks interesting. Wasn't he in the Sons of Anarchy? Right. He was the big character.
So yeah, I'm more familiar with him there. Hellboy and then Sons of Anarchy.
Never saw him in Sons of Anarchy. Never saw a single episode of that show.
So Sons of Anarchy,
my stance on TV, so this is why I don't watch television.
Sons of Anarchy is to me kind of like WandaVision, where it's bad but it's entertaining. Sons of Anarchy has, you'd laugh. They're shooting in the broad day. Police never seem to care. It's a full biker
shooting like guns?
Shooting guns back and forth all day. They're just robbing people, whatever. And it's funny because every gunshot is like a Final Cut. It's graphic.
Yeah,
it's like a graphic thing. It's not like
muzzle flash.
Not that I wanted people to get shot, but there's no practical effects. It's all like the plug-in for like bullet wound. Like,
you know what movie did that, and you'd see how far we've come technology-wise, because you and me enjoyed this movie. Was the Netflix movie with Thor, Extraction. Every single gun fired in that movie was a rubber gun, and there was no blanks, there was no nothing. It was all digitally inserted afterward. Every one of them.
Well, they did a great job because I didn't notice it.
Dude, the slide going back, rounds being ejected was all digital.
Oh, they did fantastic then.
That's what I'm saying.
I didn't notice
They've come a long way.
In Sons of Anarchy, it looks like somebody put a sticker there for 2 frames and took it off.
Yeah. It's like when you first learn After Effects. You know, it's like you throw the muzzle flash.
There wasn't any. I don't remember like really any blood, like any simulated blood. None of that. Like corn syrup and red dye. Like none of that. It was just in post.
That's crazy. If we've come a long way. That movie Extraction. So the story behind that, because I watched the making of. So the director of Extraction was a Hollywood stunt guy forever. And he's always wanted to direct. This was like his first big time, big budget director, role. So anyway, he was telling a story of how, pre-production on the film, they had everything in order with all these fake plastic guns with blanks and all that. And then I guess at some point right before, like 2 weeks before filming started, because I think they shot it in Taiwan or somewhere, they said, "Oh yeah, no, you're not bringing any of that." And they were like, "What do you mean?" And they're like, "You can only have rubber versions of those. That's what we're doing." So they had to scramble, and they made all their guns out of rubber, and they got them shipped over there, and it affected the timeline of their production and their shoot timeline. But yeah, all post-production, dude. Go watch that movie and go, "That's
it's
all
a real
fake."
good movie.
What?
It's a real good movie.
Incredible action. Pushed the bar in terms of, for me.
Oh no, as far as what you're doing with that camera,
and what you're doing with the camera. Unbelievable.
The chase scenes, the all those one shots of people going from car to car, like how?
Yeah, I'll tell you how. The director himself got literally strapped to the hood of a car with like a cable. So he's on the hood of the car, and he's sliding around the damn thing.
It's nuts. They were going through windows, cars were moving, and they'd hop out of one car going to another one. Like, it's seamless.
Dude, they talked about how for that chase scene, the very long one through where they started on foot and then they got into cars and all that, it was they wanted to shoot at golden hour. And so they had to wait for the perfect golden hour, and they got to shoot for about an hour and a half, and then it was over. And so I think it took them like 5-6 weeks to shoot that sequence. It's crazy what goes into making
that's
movies,
like with 1865, what was it?
1915. 1917. 1865.
Yeah, okay. That's what's familiar.
1917 is the movie you're talking about.
There was so much... that's funny for many reasons.
That is funny. That's funny.
Anyway, as far as the scheduling, because you saw the behind the scenes for that too. It's like, that's why these movies take a whole year. It's
on
like
cloudy days.
They did the opposite. Cloudy days. The night scene was like done in the middle of the day. But a lot of the stuff is weather based. We're going to shoot on Tuesday at 3:00. Okay, it's raining at Tuesday at 3, so we got to shoot it tomorrow instead.
I imagine that, first of all, there's so much money, big cake, baby, to make movies. But like losing a full day of production, can you imagine how many people are on that set?
I wonder, if they still get paid.
100 plus people on that set.
Do you think they still get paid?
They got to get paid, I imagine. I have to ask my buddy Taylor. He would know. Taylor would know. I'll ask Taylor. Oh, man. But anyway, Falcon and the Winter Soldier, looking forward to that. Just rewatched The Mighty Ducks recently. Do you remember this movie, The Mighty Ducks, with Emilio Estevez?
Yeah, I mean, I saw it once.
Yeah. We rewatched the first 2 Mighty Duck movies. Been a while. Emilio Estevez, not that good of an actor. As a kid, you don't realize, but like I go back and watch this, I'm like, first of all, his character was a total asshole. And it wasn't acted well. It was just cheesy, but Victor really seemed to enjoy it. And then we watched the sequel, which in my opinion was a way better movie. It's where the Mighty Ducks went to the Olympics to be Team USA. It was pretty awesome. Had a good soundtrack. Had some Queen in there. So.
Is that being remade or something?
Yes, thank you. Roundabout, there is a new series coming out on Disney Plus, a Mighty Ducks series with Emilio Estevez. So we'll see. Okay. So we got to watch the third one. Victor's up to number 3. We got to watch 3.
With the Emilios, that's like Cobra Kai. They brought the old people back.
Have you watched Cobra Kai? I have not either.
No, another movie that I saw once and never again. The first Karate Kid. That's it. I don't remember watching the second one. I don't know.
Part 2. I think Daniel's son was out in Okinawa with Mr. Miyagi. I think they went out.
I saw parts of the Jaden Smith one, like on a flight.
I really enjoyed that.
Saw parts of that
with Jackie Chan.
Yeah,
the Karate Kid reboot. Yeah, I enjoyed that one. Jackie Chan played like an old drunk guy. Well, that dealt with like depression, and his wife died or something, and like he was having alcohol problems, and that was a good movie. I liked that.
I enjoy seeing Will Smith doing everything in his complete power to bring his family up. Like everyone in his family is doing something, and he's making sure they're in a position. Like, here's that opportunity. Here's this one. Here's that one. I don't know if any. I mean, there no other families come to mind that are doing it like that. As far as just making sure their family's set. Like, and that family's incredibly talented.
Who are you talking about? You talking about they have 1 kid, right?
No, they have 3.
They have 3 kids.
Yeah.
I don't keep up with the Kardashians, baby. I thought he just had the kid. What's his name?
He's got Jaden. Willow. I whip my hair back and forth.
What is that?
She had a whole song that's like blew up. It's huge. She got a record deal with Jay-Z.
What is her artist name?
Willow. That's her real name in real life, and that's what she goes by.
Her name is Willow.
Willow Smith. She was in I Am Legend. Daddy looked the butterfly. And he put the son in Pursuit of Happiness.
Okay, yeah. Oh, the young kid.
Yeah. He's always been putting them since very little. He's been trying to put him in position. And then he has another kid, I forget his name, which is kind of funny.
What do you mean by put him in a position? Like to become actors?
Actors, artists, singers, clothes designers, like whatever they want, he's figured out a way to kind of like
I'll tell you how he figured
them
it out.
into position. Oh no, that's true. But
He's figured out a way. Yeah, he's uber famous.
But yeah, no, but that takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of work to even get in that position to say, all right, now you have to give my kids a shot. If you want my name attached to something, then that comes with my son's gonna get a spot there. Yeah, you work your way up to that.
Oh yeah, no, I'm saying like you said he's figured out a way. I was like, oh yeah,
no,
famous baby.
20 years of grinding because this guy is from Philadelphia for real, not just the song.
I'm telling you, Will Smith is one of those people where Will Smith's got a new movie, I'll probably go see it. He's like one of those guys.
You know, it's funny. I feel like his movies kind of like started slipping.
Well, you know what? This is true. They have.
I think his '90s movies and early 2000s.
That's kind of when I remember. Yeah, you're right.
Like his more recent stuff has been slipping, kind of like.
You know what I didn't see of Will Smith was Gemini Man.
I didn't bother seeing Gemini Man.
I didn't see it.
He had the movie where he had Jaden Smith as like the lead, where they were like lost somewhere on a planet or whatever.
Never saw that one. This is very true. His recent stuff. This is how out of touch I am, dude. I haven't really been into movies in a long time. It's been a while. It's kind of taken a back seat.
After I Am Legend, I feel like it hasn't been that stellar.
God, man, because he's got some classics,
hits,
man. Dude.
With Wild Wild West.
You lead with that? I didn't really enjoy that one.
I like that. I like Men in Black. Is
Independence
awesome.
Day, Men in Black.
Independence Day is crazy. Hitch is good.
Mm-hmm. I Am Legend was wild.
I Am Legend. I never saw Hitchcock.
Enemy of the State, dude.
I never saw Hitchcock.
Hitchcock was good. I liked Hitchcock.
But he's good. It's just he's great. Recently he's kind of slipped. Same thing with the music is funny. Like he had a time where he was like good in music.
He was in there. Like, and then
it's like.
All right, Will. Like, okay.
It's like you get. Now he's real big on the social media and all this Instagram stuff and selfies and all this stuff. It's like,
yeah.
Whatever.
You ever watch his stuff on his YouTube channel, the Will Smith YouTube channel?
I see.
It's kind of, what do they call? Cringe. They call it. Oh, so cringe. Instead of, what is with young people not putting the proper tense on words? Instead of, oh man, that's so cringy. They don't say cringe. Oh, or they don't say cringy. They say that's so cringe. That's fire.
Oh, fire is old.
That's so dumb, dude. But anyway, his old YouTube stuff, Will Smith's YouTube stuff is kind of like, okay, you're really rich, dude. We get it.
I think they do it because it's like the whole keeping up with the Kardashians thing. I only know of them because they're that big to where it's like, who hasn't heard this name at this point? The first time I heard that name was the OJ cases when I was a kid. Like the first time I heard the word Kardashian.
You were paying attention to the OJ case?
Oh, I remember that as a kid. Like I remember being in the apartment. Like that was a big deal. I remember seeing on the TV the whole. Like,
of course, I know of it, and I remember seeing it. But dude, I didn't follow it as a. Oh, how old were we, dude?
I don't know. I remember this vividly though. I remember. I'm not saying I understood what was going on, like in terms of like the legalese.
But you remember the Kardashians in that case?
I remember the first time I heard that name, and then and I remember that name because it stuck out because it reminded me of a Star Trek alien race called the Cardassians with no H.
That's funny.
So I was like, oh, that's weird. Like,
what did they look
call
like?
That?
What did that race look like?
It looks like you need to keep up with them. That's what that race looked like. Nah, they were funny looking, and they were. But that name was interesting to me. Don't know how we got there. Oh no,
OJ, bro.
But the whole these families and stuff like that just uber famous, and that's another one like just popped up. Like just who doesn't know about them? The Smiths are doing the same type of lane. Like people want to see like that was my point. People clearly like seeing other people's success in their lifestyle because it's like there's a small hope that might be me one day. Like there's the tiniest of hopes. They're like, oh man, how cool would it be to live in that house with that many cars and that clothes and then having my own design? It's like,
oh, it would be awesome.
It's not for me. I don't sit down and watch these shows, but I could understand logically the appeal, at least in passing.
Well, that's the idea about media, like movies and films and TV shows. It's you can live vicariously through that kind of stuff. And I guess maybe the larger than life, these big celebrities. Yeah, a lot of people they love these shows. Keeping Up with the Kardashians.
Yeah, like invite me into your home, Will Smith. I want to see how you're living and stuff. I remember Cribs was
MTV
the thing.
Cribs, baby.
And it was very
Dude,
popular.
Cribs was ridiculous.
We wanted to see how you're living because I want to kind of feel like I'm there and living with you. Like,
yeah, it's crazy. And now you can be on Twitter and literally or Instagram and follow your favorite celebrities and like throughout their day and it's wild to think about it like that. Like imagine like 1995, they're like, did you know that one day you can follow Jay-Z on this little thing and he's going to post and talk to you and all this and you can.
Well, he's a bad example because he doesn't post or talk.
Oh, okay.
He doesn't do nothing.
Insert generic celebrity here. The president,
The president, unfortunately.
Yeah, but it's wild. Like, and then you can, dude, it's crazy. I remember I read a book years ago and I really enjoyed the book and I looked up the author on Twitter and I found him on Twitter and I messaged the author and we had a discussion.
That's cool.
That is insanity, dude.
Cool.
Like that's crazy that we can do that.
Yeah, that's cool.
So awesome, dude. It's so awesome. So
I guess the more famous you get that to navigate that is kind of
it becomes
insane.
a little yeah.
Ideally, so this guy Gary Vee, that's a big marketer and has taken his marketing to social media. So people that might be familiar with him might think he's just an annoying social media guy.
What is his full name?
Gary Vaynerchuk.
So look him up, dude.
So
Very
some people feel like he's like, oh no, he's annoying. It's like, well, he's marketing and this is how he delivers that marketing. And if you listen to it, a lot of stuff he says makes perfect sense. He's real in tune with how at least social media works.
Yeah.
But he's of the thought that every comment you get, you go in there and respond. Like everyone. And you actually see him trying. Like he'll go on his YouTube and he's got thousands and thousands of comments and he's trying to comment on a lot of them. Like a lot of them.
One of my favorite streamers, Dr. Disrespect. He doesn't do it as much now because his following has gotten so big, but he used to, in the streaming world, would read every single donation that would come in. He would read every one. And because you could type
I think donations you should.
Yeah, that's
like you should make it happen. Like I get that it's a lot, but you know what? It's like they just gave you money.
Yeah.
But
that's crazy, man. Yeah, you go on like Joe Rogan and it's like, dude, how the hell are you gonna? It's 110,000 comments on this thing.
I guess if it's too much, maybe this sounds capitalistic and greedy, but it's like I think you should read everyone, and if you're getting too many, then maybe you raise the minimum donation cap.
Oh, you're talking about for the streamers, yeah.
Yeah, it's like maybe you say, it's a minimum $10 donation, and then you're not shouting out every dollar donation in between the $500 donations. You know what I mean? Because they do that. If anybody's seen streams before, you'll notice your streamer is going, hey, so-and-so with the $5 donation, then so-and-so with the $2,000 donation.
Oh, dude, yeah, they'll have graphics pop up and all that stuff.
But I think when somebody, because
feel free to donate, by the way.
I think, I think that's
Venmo,
the recipe
PayPal,
for
Cash App.
I think that's what it takes in 2021 to blow up on social media, if that is within the strategy of what you're trying to do for whatever reason. If you're an artist, if you're a business, I think you have to have that connection. People, I argue this all the time with with different business people. You cannot take the social out of social media. You cannot just post your stuff there and say, I did what I needed to do. I put my contact information there. I put, today's special, whatever. You have to go in there and communicate with the people. If somebody commented, you got to go in there and respond. If not, then get off of social media. You just have a website and that's it. Just have a website.
I get you're way more effective if you engage with your community. That's what I'm
saying. If you wanted in 2021, if you really wanted to dominate social media and do this the right way and see those numbers increase, you have to go in there and respond. What you see a lot of times is people with 50 followers say, I don't have time.
Like, you don't have time?
It's like the idea, it's like you don't have the time to not do it. You don't have the, I can't afford it. No, you can't afford not to do it. It's just the reality, and it's tough. We're people that got minimum, not minimum. We have constricted means, and we have how far we could extend ourselves with time and stuff like that. But we have argued many times that when you really think about it in the absolute literal sense, if you walked around with a diary and noted everything you did with every hour of the day, I'm sure that there's some hours there that you could have been a little more productive. You could have been. There will always be one more half-hour time increment where you could have wrote one email at least. That's just if you're being 100% real with yourself. You don't have to explain to us that life is tough and you got kids and we understand that 100%. But when you are building a business, only speaking to business owners, and really people that are saying they want to make it on their own, whether you're an artist or a painter or a rapper or a singer, whatever it is, you got to be real with yourself, man, before you start pointing the finger at other people. Was there an hour space in your day where you could have done one more thing for the business? One more. Was there? Because if there was and you didn't do it, then you have an option at that point. If you complain, then maybe you just don't complain as much. Just realize that they could have done a little bit more.
Yeah, no, we've said it many times, man. We've said it many times.
And some people have to understand
right.
it just might not be for you, and there's nothing wrong with that. I think people got to understand that too. Like, because you see the Gary Vaynerchuks, you see Will Smith, you see all these people. You got to do all of this stuff, motivational speeches, right? Don't confuse that with that applies to every single person on the planet. And if it does not apply to you, then that's fine. There is absolutely nothing wrong with being the guy that says, I need to be home every day at 6 o'clock because I need my 9 to 5. And I am not doing a single thing off the clock. And I'm not doing anything after this hour. There's nothing wrong with that. That just means that you're not an entrepreneur. You're not a business person. And there are different people on this planet that serve different roles. So it's not for everybody. But this path that we choose here means nights, weekends, and then all kinds of craziness as it comes in. And the thing is to navigate that graciously. That's difficult.
Yeah, the gig lifestyle is a little wild. I mean, we had something pop up yesterday that's, less than 24 hours. And
I need you tomorrow evening.
I need you tomorrow night. To do what? Well, we don't really know yet. We don't really know if it's going to work, but you willing to take a risk?
Yeah.
It's like, you know what? When we're building this thing, it's like, hell yeah, we'll take a risk. Let's go do it.
That's why I said navigating it graciously is the hard part. Because I think a lot of people will still say yes, but that customer service side and that, being professional and being personable, not everybody has that, man. Because I think a lot of people would take that begrudgingly and let the person know that I'm taking it begrudgingly. Like, I got to move a lot of stuff around now. I guess I'll do it. I think a lot of people would go that route.
Yeah, we showed up like, what's up?
Yeah, no,
like we've known each other for 10 years. This person we've never met before, man. Dude, great experience, by the way. We had a really cool shoot last night, man. It was so fun, dude.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah, man, a lot of fun.
Yeah, no, unfortunately, I don't even remember all those guys' names, but we did a sporting event. It was great.
Yeah, our guy Robert was our community. Was the guy Robert?
Because we met them the day before.
Robert Scott, and then big up to Alex, man, my buddy Alex, dude. I don't know if you're watched, but appreciate that. Thank you.
Oh yeah, no, Alex. Yeah, Alex did. That was awesome.
Thank you.
That was real good.
That's the cool thing about this industry too, man. It's like, when you can help other people out, you try to help them out. People get busy. If we're doing something and somebody contacted us, we would be more than happy to. We know a few people around town that we'll throw business to, man. So very, very cool. Thank you for that, man.
But that's the challenge in life, right there. Because you said that this industry, and this is 100% true. I'm not going to refute this with my point here. You're 100% right about this industry, and then it makes me think also that's the way life is with human beings. Like you would think you treat people well, then you would be treated well.
Yeah, sure.
Positivity should reciprocate just the same way negativity does. Mm-hmm. The challenge with a pessimistic person like me, we're going to split the room now. This is not Matt. This is my opinion. The problem with a pessimistic like me, there's two things that had to happen with me. I am introvert and pessimist. That's like a bad combination. This is really bad, actually. But I am of the thought that a lot of times you do something good and just never even expect anything because people are just not great. Many times you get your hand smacked, you won't even get a thank you. And I have learned to kind of just not even expect it, because if I do expect it, my mental health will go nuts and I will just live every day incredibly furious.
Yeah.
I have to, you have seen me, because I brought it up in a conversation the other day, you have seen me tell people, I'm not going to give you a yes or no right now, because if I say yes, whether I don't want to do it or not, I am going to do it.
No, I'm going to do it.
So when I say, when Tony's yes comes out, I am already of the mental capacity and understanding that I am not even expecting a thank you. And that's not even a critique of that individual person. I just trained my mind and my heart at this point to it's like...
It's a critique of society, maybe.
Don't even... Yeah, it's a critique more of a society. It's not like, hey, I'm not upset with you. I don't think you're going to screw me. I just think everyone's out to screw me. Like that's... You know what I mean? Like that's just...
Oh, man.
That's why I said we split the room here.
Well, and you know what's funny? I
speak for yourself if you agree, disagree. I'm speaking for me, son.
Unshun. I hear you, bro. I hear you, because there has been, dude, we laugh about it every time we talk about this industry, this gig lifestyle. We come across and we interact with a crazy amount of different people, very varied personalities, but we do see trends. We do see trends and it doesn't matter who these people are. It could be anything. We do see some trends. So I'm with you on that, dude. I'm with you on that. And I feel like as a society, a lot of emotional intelligence and a lot of manners, even like just like easy stuff like manners and socially acceptable things to do. We're seeing less and less of it. I would say there's no way to to get that kind of data, the quantitative, just to be able to find that somehow. But I mean, am I wrong, people? Like, do you feel like people are just not as nice these days, or not as courteous these days, or not as
So I'll ask this question that has to do with that. We've talked about this before. I think
communication too is a big one.
Yeah, no. There's a lot of social contracts being broken out here, people. Unspoken social contracts that are just thrown out the window for the sake of really arrogance. I think that's the root sin is me first. That's the root cause to a lot of these problems.
Yeah. Guilty of it from time to time as well, man.
I think everybody there's an id and an ego. Guilty, everyone has a little bit of self-serving nature in there. Just varying degrees in how it manifests. It could be very, very different. But we talked about this before, and I think it's interesting. I think many will agree that, at least in America, because Americans will forget that the planet is enormous and the world does not revolve around America. At least in America, we have become very, very sensitive to many issues for good reasons. Some would argue that we've become oversensitive. I say that to say that it's interesting for a society to be so sensitive, yet so easy to be offensive, yet so arrogant in being offensive. This mindset of I could say whatever I want to you, I don't care how you take it, but at the same time, don't you dare say anything that even hurt my most delicate of feelings.
Or we'll cancel your ass.
It's very weird to me. It's very weird. Like society, you have to pick. If you're going to be cutthroat, then expect that. In my house, the rule in my house, and this is always, my dad will remember this and probably smile when he sees this. The rule was, if you cannot laugh at yourself, you have no business laughing at anyone else. That's how we were raised. That's like number one. Don't you dare laugh at anyone else. Don't you make fun of anyone else. Don't you tell a joke about anybody else. If when you hear one about you, you're going to ball up and cry. You're going to complain. You're going to go tell the teacher. You're going to go whine to your parents.
Or you're going to get mad.
I don't want to hear it. I don't. I'm teaching my son Hector that. He's real big on the video games. And every now and then, when a joke gets thrown his way, you lose. That's why I headshotted you. He gets really upset. And I sat him down the other day and I said, first of all, if you don't know how to lose, I don't want you doing anything. You need to learn how to lose first, because in life, you're going to lose more times than you win. That's just the way it is.
Especially in Battle Royale.
Especially in Battle. But it's funny. It's like, I let him keep playing the game because I want you to learn how to lose. I want you to lose a lot. And I want you to be able to eat those feelings and manage them, internalize it, and know how to deal with it.
So important.
I told him, though, I was like, you know what? You're upset because so-and-so, because your cousin, because your sister made a joke, because they headshotted you and they killed you and they're laughing at you. But you know what I noticed, Hector? You also laugh at them when you do something. When you get a cool headshot, when you snipe them from across the thing, and eat my sniper, your aim is no good.
How old is he?
He's 5. So I'm like,
sounds about right.
And that's fine. I don't get angry. This is just a teachable moment, and I'm real proud to be involved in these things. It's like, here's what you got to understand.
Yeah.
I hear you in that room sometimes laughing and saying, get your aim good. Learn how to aim. Learn how to aim. You don't have no aim, no aim, no aim.
He's going to be a streamer. He's going to be a streamer. That's funny.
You can do those things. I can say among your cousins and your family, do that all you want. But when they come back at you, don't you dare come over here saying, hey, Annalise made a joke or the cousin made a joke. I don't want to hear it. Go back in and defend yourself.
Dude, you made such a great point about you're going to lose a lot more you're going to win. When I was a preschool teacher, I saw it firsthand. These kids did not know how to lose. I mean, we were taught to play games with no winners and losers. Like that's the early childhood way. Like that was what you should be doing. And I was just like, always like, nah, we're going to have a foot race and there's going to be one winner.
Overcorrections.
We're going to have one winner. And these kids, you could tell that at home, they never lost, baby. They never lost. But in Mr. Matt and Miss Shanna and Miss Denise's room, those are my favorite teaching partners that I ever had in my whole life, man. There were winners and there were losers, and it's all good. It's all good. And then we taught, sometimes it's not about winning or losing. Dude, my son played flag football, now 2 years now? The summer before COVID.
Okay.
Or the fall before COVID.
Between 6 months and 2 years.
Somewhere in that time frame. They lost damn near every game.
Fire the coach.
But you know what's funny though? That coach was the shit. He let every kid.
That's why they were losing.
he gave everybody an opportunity to play receiver, to play quarterback, to snap the ball,
at
to
that
run
level
the ball.
you have to. Jokes aside, you're
I'm
playing
like,
with
you
kids.
guys, we're playing with
play.
6-year-olds, dude.
Let them play,
dude.
Yeah, let them play.
So that was the first organized sport that I had let Victor do. And it was flag football because a couple of his friends were playing. Dude, it was so fun to go out there and watch because Vic's he's an athlete. He's a good athlete. He kick and throw and catch. And he loves football. So I was like, it's just a no-brainer. Let's get out there. Coach was so great, man. He was so good to these kids. It was so awesome. And we'd go out to these games. And first of all, me and Bree were like hyped up, dude. We'd be like running up and down the field. I'd be getting so excited, dude. It was a great atmosphere out there, man. I wasn't like screaming at the refs though. I was just cheering on the kids. But yeah, they lost like every damn game. But like there would be some teams that would come out there, dude, and like they would just trample them. But there would be 3/4 of those kids on that other team aren't doing anything. It's the same 3 kids. I'm like, man, that's no fun,
at that
dude.
age, it makes sense. I think once you get to
But anyway, he knew how to lose because he lost a lot.
Yeah.
The first game, he kind of was, but after that, it's like, we taught him. It's like, look, dude, did you have fun? You had that killer catch, didn't you? Dude, he had this baller catch down the field. It was unbelievable. He was the only kid that caught a completed pass the whole season. It was like 7 games or 8 games or something like that. He was the only one. So they had the little pizza party, little ceremony, where you get your little trophy and your little grab bag, and the coach was like, and Victor Cole, the only child to catch a pass this year on the Titans. And I was just like, ah! I was so stoked, man. But yeah, you're gonna lose a lot. I used to teach my kids that all the time in early childhood. You're gonna lose, dude.
You're gonna lose.
It's all good.
But boys, you got to teach them it's all right to cry too.
Yes.
At the appropriate times.
Yeah. Emotions are so important, dude. They're so important to have, man.
We were raised in a different time. At least me. Again, split the room. For better or for worse, I don't say these things as a complaint or a bad thing. Just a reality. Men crying and expressing their feelings was kind of frowned upon.
A lot of communities feel that way.
Yeah,
it's unfortunate.
I feel free to say the same thing, but I'm gonna tell you, in the Hispanic community and a lot of minorities, there's this thing where it's like there's a stigma.
You're weak.
A man should not be expressing their feelings. I don't necessarily agree with that today. I've learned a lot, especially through church, especially through friends and having kids of my own now too. It's like it's different. I think if anything, you teach them. I get it. You don't want, I still feel like I don't want my son crying for every little thing. I don't need him going out there and showing the world his heart necessarily. There's times that you reserve those feelings for your family. My dad used to tell us never let them see you sweat. And I agree with that. Don't let them see you. You don't have to show them your weakness every single time. But what you should do is identify the people that are close to you and that are protective of you and that care about you. And those are the people that, if you got to let some tears out, then feel free. If you got pain you need to talk about, come to your parents for sure. If there's teenagers that ever see this, it's like your parents are not your enemy. Your parents are not to beat you up all the time. Like if you're 16, 17, 18, 19 years old, you should start to understand that these are the people that are going to be your biggest supporters for your whole life.
Yeah, it's crazy to think about our young children and think they're going to be young adults one day. Wow.
Nah, real, yeah, soon. Annalise is 14. This kid's going to be 18 years old any minute now.
Like they're going to be my age one day. Like what?
Yeah, no,
it's going to be wild. I'm going to having a beer with Vic, like hanging out, watching football together with his kids. Hopefully, God willing, man.
That's nuts. That's special moments.
I like getting old, man.
Yeah, I say it all the time, but it's like when people
it really is.
When we start working around people that are a little bit older than us, like 20, 30 years older, I'm like, well, not everybody gets that privilege.
Yeah, man.
It's like, oh, don't get old. It's like, yeah, I want to. Not everybody gets that privilege.
That's awesome. I know a lot more.
Yeah,
I know a lot more now.
I know more.
Oh, that's funny, dude. All right.
Life is good.
Life is really good, man. Life is really good. I'm trying to figure out what this is on the table. What is that? It's like a...
This right here is a 2-inch MDF board.
Yeah, vintage 2017.
The slightest bit of moisture will make this swell up and crack and split, and then you throw the whole thing away.
We got this at a very, very nice discount because it was a floor model and had a little chippy chip on the edge.
I think it adds character.
It's weathered, as they say.
Now that you said chippy chip, do you remember I had half a tooth right there?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It was awesome when I finally got it fixed. I was like, yeah, man.
Looking good.
Health insurance, son. It's one of the first things I did. I got that dental plan, got that tooth fixed, and then got rid of the dental plan the same year. Like, That's all I need, baby.
In and out, baby.
Yo, we're gonna wrap this up because we give you enough of our time. How often do you go to the dentist?
Probably once every 9 to 10 years.
Okay, good. That's regular then. Yeah, that sounds about the appropriate time.
I haven't been in. Maybe. Dude. Yeah, it's been like 2015. I think it was the last time I went to get my freaking teeth looked at. Is that terrible? That's so bad.
No, it's just supposed to go once a year.
My wife has been telling me for years. You gotta go to the dentist. Gotta go to the dentist. Just sign me to go to the dentist. Go to the dentist.
Yeah, no, I'm supposed to go once or twice a year. It's like it's in the. We got insurance for that. We just go. You're supposed to. It's like the checkups. Like if you're able to go, you're supposed to go once a year, right? Yeah. It could be life saving. As far as health checkups, it's like, hey, did you notice you got this whatever going on over here? It's like, nah, I didn't.
This is for real. It's time to go to the doctor for me for sure. It's time.
Time. When are we supposed to start getting checked as men?
Are you talking about for the booty hole?
Yeah, it's like they recommend what, 35?
Is it 35? Is it 35? I don't know.
Well, Chadwick Boseman was what?
Oh my God. Yeah.
And he wasn't getting checked soon enough, obviously, because as far as I understood, the way that works is if they catch it early enough, then it's not life threatening. If they catch it early enough, like they can operate, do what they got to do, and you move on with your life.
That sounds like I'm going to get that booty checked.
And I had heard several times and read before that every man has that. Has a level of prostate cancer, and it's just if you were detected it or whatever, like every man has that, and it's like some of it advances to the point where that will kill them, or it took so long that it never even affected your life.
Isn't it where we're all women too? We're all the female.
I don't know about. I am not.
No, I'm talking about. But then due to a mutation, we start as that, and then due to a mutation, it becomes a male. Isn't that's a thing? I've seen this and read this numerous. Just reminded me of that. I thought that was kind of funny.
I don't know.
All right.
That could be researched. I know we all start with a tail.
Sure. We do.
All right, good.
All right.
That's enough of that, ladies and gentlemen. This was fun. I'm Tony.
I am Matthew.
This is Tsunami Podcast.
Let's go, baby. Bring it in for the real thing. Go. And push. Oh, dude, I'm stoked, bro. I'm going to Richmond tomorrow. I'm going to a hotel with a pool.